Hello everybody, this is coming up tonight on a special edition of News Center Now. More than 200,000 people in our state struggle with hunger.
I can either pay my mortgage or feed my children.
Today, you can help your friends, neighbors, and families stay happy and healthy.
You know, food insecurity is very, very strong. It's very prevalent in our state.
$1 donated to the Good Shepherd Food Bank delivers 4 meals to a Mainer in need. Live from the food bank in Auburn, this is a special edition of News Center Now.
With your help, we have already raised more than $28,000 to feed the children, elderly, and families in Maine that are struggling to put food on the table. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Now. I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Lindsay Mills. We are live at the Good Shepherd Food Bank Warehouse Distribution Center in Auburn, where volunteers work every day to help feed Maine. And tonight, you can help them by donating to our Feed Maine Telethon happening right now.
The News Center Maine team is standing by and waiting to take your call. We will walk you through the process and help you make a meaningful donation to the Feed Maine Fund. There is no amount that is too small because just $1 is equal to 4 meals, which is amazing.
And if you would prefer to make your donation online, you can do so right now. Just log on to our website or mobile app.
Now, your friend or your neighbor or could be struggling with food insecurity, and you might not even know it. Maine is one of the hungriest states in America. 1 in 5 children is going hungry tonight, and if you need to donate, if you donate to the Feed Maine Telethon, you can certainly be confident that your hard-earned money is going to the right place. Places like the Gray Community Food Pantry, because on the 1st and 3rd of Friday of every month, volunteers line up inside to sort out and distribute the food.
And Mainers from all walks of life show up early in the morning to get their spot in line to get fresh vegetables and non-perishable items. It's one of the hundreds of food pantries in the state that do its part in helping food insecurity.
I can go a long time without food. As long as I got some water or something to drink, I'm happy.
Just imagine being hungry but not having enough food to eat. You ever go without food?
Yes, I do. I do sometimes. Pretty hard.
For most people, it would be a nightmare. For far too many Mainers, it's reality.
I don't think people understand that it's 1 in 6 Mainers, 1 in 5 children. Nearly 200,000 people in Maine don't have access to enough nutritious food to live a healthy life.
There are hundreds of food pantries across the state to help those in need. The Gray Community Food Pantry opened a little more than 8 years ago. On the 1st and 3rd Friday of each month, people start getting in line as early as 7 o'clock in the morning because the pantry opens at 2 and they need their food.
At my age, no one's going to hire me, so the only money I get is what I get out of Social Security. And boy, I mean, this helps. It really does.
I do remember one woman who came to our pantry. She was very, very tiny. She looked like she was malnourished. And she came into the pantry, we took her around, and when it was time to leave, she started crying. And she started hugging us, and she said, I never in a million years thought that I would get this much food.
This pantry services about 60 families on a regular basis. The food comes in from personal and business donations, as well as from community members who will grow extra food just to help others.
They don't make you feel like you're bumming or you're look below them. They make you feel like you're a human being. And I think that's fantastic when people can just pitch in and help the people who aren't as fortunate as they are.
And the Gray Food Pantry was just named the Nonprofit of the Year for the town of Gray. They do such amazing work out. The afternoon I spent there really touched me, and those stories are just, they're heartbreaking, and it shows you the need in our state.
And today we're going to hear that term food insecurity a lot. That's because many people don't actually know what that means, and to be food insecure, it means you lack reliable access to a sufficient quantity of affordable, and nutritious food. So that means fresh greens, colorful fruits and vegetables, those core food groups that are so important but unfortunately pretty expensive.
Yeah, Jessica Gagne and I have met so many people since we started this campaign back in September, just going around telling people from Maine stories. They don't have access to the nutritious meals. They do, though, through the Good Shepherd Food Bank. Jess, we've been working on this project for months now, and boy, it must be great to just see those phone lines ringing and people talking on the phones.
It's fantastic. As soon as we went on air, I swear, we started talking about the need, and these phones started blowing up. Take a look behind me. Everyone's busy. Christina Rex is here answering some calls. Hey, Christina. And it's that kind of instant gratification when we've been getting here. You put out the call, and Mainers answer, and it is fantastic to see. It warms my heart because, like Lee said, I have met a lot of the people that this is helping, and you have no idea how far it really goes. And I want to give you a quick update. We are just over $28,000. We're heading to $29,000. And with me, I have Erin Fogg from the Good Shepherd Food Bank. She's going to tell us quickly exactly where your dollars are going.
Absolutely. So the dollars raised here through the telethon go statewide. We partner with more than 400 Ending Hunger partners across the state to distribute more than 24 million meals. So these funds help us get there. We also fund purchasing food from Maine farmers and helping feed children through school programs as well.
Absolutely amazing. Well, we've been here since 5 a.m. and we will be here until 7:30, so keep those phones ringing, and thank you so much for answering the call. Lee and Lindsay, back to you in Auburn.
All right, Jess, thanks so much. And it's important to us that you know, thank you, Jess, that you know just exactly where your money is going after you donate to the Good Shepherd Food Bank. 95 cents of every dollar goes toward the distribution of food. This includes sourcing donated food, purchasing food inspection, sorting, packing backpacks and senior boxes, and distribution throughout the state. 5 cents of every dollar goes towards fundraising and administration.
All right, so you and I are in Auburn. Meanwhile, Keith Carson is back at the station. No ice cream today for Mr. Carson. No. Thunderstorms and some big ones coming into our area, Keith.
Yeah, we had some earlier especially, and some rain continuing to move over the northern part of the state. It really depends where you are. Looking outside the studio here in Portland, it's clear. You can see that clear dry slot down to the south, but raining over down East Maine, and a nice band of showers and thunderstorms about to move into the northern mountains. There's a little bit more back off to the west, so we'll see some isolated showers and thunderstorms tonight as well, and through the first half of tomorrow. So these showers and storms as this cold front sweeps on through. What a wild day temperature-wise. We officially got to 80 in Portland, but look at it, 45 in Caribou. So you can see where that warm front oscillated. It was in the 90s down to our south across southern New England, but extremely humid. 66 for a dew point here in Portland, 57 in Waterville, 55 in Bangor. All of the shaded area is really, really humid stuff compared to yesterday that was hot and dry. And I know most Mainers, Lee and Lindsay, do not like that humidity. We'll talk about when it's going to go away in just a few minutes.
Well, that incoming rain is a blessing to firefighters in York County. Maine Forest Rangers are busy controlling hot spots from a raging wildfire that scorched more than 300 acres in the Sanford, Kennebunk, and Wells areas overnight. That fire is now mostly contained. As of now, officials do not know what started that blaze. We'll have a live report coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30. And a totally different story on the other end of the state. Parts of the county are underwater. The National Weather Service warns residents to be prepared for floodwaters as more rain moves into the state. The Fish River is overflowing in Fort Kent, and Soldier Pond in Wallagrass is rapidly rising. Lee and Lindsay, back to you in Auburn.
Chris, thank you so much. When you think of hunger, you probably think of the stereotypical type family, but that is not the case for so many people that struggle with food insecurity.
I'm college educated, I was employed, I had 4 children, I had a roof over my head, and I still had food insecurity in my home.
And the men and women fighting to feed their kids, and the volunteers, workers, and doctors fighting for the right resources. That's next. If you go to get checked out at one of the St. Joseph Healthcare facilities, you will likely find a questionnaire about what it is that ails you.
Yeah, you'll now also be asked if you do have any food insecurity issues, whether it's financial or even accessibility. It's a relatively new service, but it has yielded some amazingly positive results.
Do you find that your paychecks aren't always getting you to the end of the week sometimes with your food.
For just about a year, conversations like this have been happening in the safe and private environment of St. Joseph's healthcare facilities.
You know, food insecurity is very, very strong. It's very prevalent in our state, and we really just want to do right by our patients and, you know, fix this problem. We have the opportunity to do that.
A partnership with the Good Shepherd Food Bank has led to St. Joe's being able to provide a bag or bags of food to those in need on the spot, and also to provide them with the information of where to access very necessary resources.
It's been very positive. I think a lot of patients would never have asked. They wouldn't have known that that resource would have been available in a hospital, especially in an emergency room. So it's been very, very positive.
You would really be surprised as to how many patients do say yes. We feel very grateful that we're able to help them.
Since a doctor's office is inherently a place where patients feel comfortable, it's natural to have what can be hard conversations about food insecurity inside the walls. It's something that is not only working at St. Joe's, but something that other medical facilities are taking notice of.
I've had several organizations across Maine reach out after hearing about the program and the partnership that we've had with Good Shepherd Food Bank, asking how did that start? How did we initiate that? And how do they mirror that in their own community?
And this is something that, as she just mentioned, hopefully all medical facilities will start to put this into play.
And food insecurity plagues one of our most vulnerable populations, American veterans.
And it works because the weight's coming down.
The welfare of our service members depends a lot on their health and their nutrition. That's coming up next.
And when there's a 90-degree day, summer thunderstorms are usually not very far behind. Keep will have the full forecast straight ahead.
Your support of the Good Shepherd Food Bank will also help fund hundreds of cooking classes statewide.
Yeah, Cooking Matters is a program that helps children, it helps families and veterans learn how to make healthy, affordable, and delicious recipes all from scratch.
And I recently attended one of those classes at the Saco VA Clinic.
So on page 24 of your book is a smart snack handout.
Some of the students in this group,
Walter, A+ student,
never learned to cook. Until now.
Half cup fresh cilantro leaves. All right.
At this Cooking Matters class at the Saco VA, which is put on by the Good Shepherd Food Bank,
all right,
veterans like Bert Johnson are learning to make turkey and tofu tacos.
Getting better, getting out of my comfort zone for taste-wise and things I've never really dealt with before.
For Bert, this weekly class is about more than food.
Also gets you out of the house for 2 extra hours a week.
You guys have made a lot of really healthy changes in your diet already.
And it works because the weight's coming down, and being a borderline diabetic, as long as my weight comes down, I don't have to worry about meds.
And if health concerns weren't enough, many veterans live on fixed incomes.
The garlic's in there, the vinegar's in there.
Okay.
And that's where this program really helps.
Produce that you're getting to use at home is a lot fresher, a lot more vibrant.
And it's really extending people's understanding of their food resources beyond just getting food at a food pantry.
The classes start with a nutrition lesson.
However, it does say there's 0 grams of trans fat per serving.
Then everyone pitches in to create the day's dish.
Who wants to help Bert whip up another salsa?
And finally,
Bert's salsa.
It's time to dig in and enjoy the fruits of their labor.
And it's good.
And Cooking Matters is a statewide program. Every dollar raised today will help the Good Shepherd Food Bank continue programs like this.
Now, if you would rather put in some work hours rather than sending in some money, we get you covered there as well, because the Good Shepherd Food Bank is always looking for more volunteers. If you'd like to help out, they need help with food sorting, inspecting, grocery packing, farm cleaning, and special events as well. Volunteer hours are on your screen. If you're interested, just call the number 207-782-3554. And somebody who knows all about dedication and feeding the hungry just happens to be joining us right now. Kristen Maley from the Good Shepherd Food Bank. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, thank you for being here today.
So, Kristen, I mean, we're here at the Auburn food bank facility. This is a massive facility. Tell us more about the work that kind of goes on inside this facility.
Sure. So this facility really serves as the hub of our network. We have over 400 partners who from this facility, along with a second facility in the Bangor area, we help get the food to these community-based organizations so they can do the work they need. So our partners are the food pantries, homeless shelters, meal sites, school-based programs, and now we even heard about our new healthcare partnerships. All of them rely on us to get food from this warehouse out across our entire state.
None of the numbers are good, but the one that jumps off the page is the kids. It's 1 in every 5 kids. If you are suffering as a child, how does this possibly affect you later in life?
Well, I mean, we know that we have plenty of data to show that when children are living with food insecurity, it affects both their behavioral and their educational outcomes. And so we really are setting these kids up to fail. And so I love the quote by the American Academy of Pediatrics, who really views intervention to prevent food insecurity is like a vaccine for kids. That's how much of an impact it has on their physical and their mental development.
And we've been saying all day that $1 can provide 4 meals. What does that mean exactly?
Well, fortunately, we get a lot of donations of food. We have fabulous partners in our retail partners, Maine farmers, and so that food is donated, but which allows us to be incredibly efficient. However, it also takes a lot of money to move around that free food. So we have our warehouses, we have our trucks, and they all need the fuel to go.
Kristen, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And guys, if you ever needed a reason to pick up the phone and call, we're talking about kids who don't have enough food to eat. That is reason enough to help out, and every little bit helps. So thank you very much in advance for your donation. Mainers always support causes like this. Absolutely. We are going to support Keith's forecast, I think. Let's find out if it's any good. Hey, Keith.
Not nearly as good a cause, Lee, but yes. Look at these high temperatures today. 86 in Portsmouth, 80 in Portland officially, 52 in Caribou. So talk about a split state forecast. Temperatures still mild over the southwestern part of the state, but still cool over the northern part. Temperatures there in the 40s. As I mentioned before, dew points are brutal right now. Upper 60s, which is almost oppressive. 70s are about as high as we get in Maine any time of the year. So this is some real early humidity. You can feel it out there. Showers over the northern third of the state. The southern third, though, late run at some sunshine here, and that driving temperatures and humidity up even further. We're going to get this cold front through later on tonight, so some more isolated showers and thunderstorms a possibility. You see it in our hour-by-hour forecast here. Showers come through 9-10 o'clock. Get a few breaks in the action, but a few more showers and maybe a rumble of thunder pop up behind this front. Now, tomorrow is an interesting day because it is by no means a washout kind of day, but it is unstable. And so we're going to see some showers around, and the timing of that is going to be all over the place. I think southern Maine might see some showers in the middle of the day. Northern Maine and central Maine will wait until the afternoon to see most of their showers. And again, a rumble of thunder, certainly a possibility late tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night. That's what these yellows and reds are indicating, is a line of showers and thunderstorms. Then we clear out in time for the weekend. The weekend looks great. As we look forward into next week, we got some nice weather. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday all look good to me. The thing that I'm watching, though, is we could have a big sea breeze divide. So the coastline may be significantly cooler. Look at Tuesday, excuse me, with temperatures here in the 40s and 50s along the coast, mid and upper 60s inland. We do it again on Wednesday. Big gradients here between the coastline and inland locations. So that's something to watch for next week during a stretch of otherwise beautiful weather. Of course, this happens quite a bit in Maine. In between that, good looking weekend. I like Saturday much more than I like Sunday. Clouds increase on Sunday, showers Sunday night into early Monday. Should clear up by about midday at the latest on Monday. A lot of us earlier than that. And then again, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday into a relatively nice stretch of weather, but we do have to watch the difference between the coastline and inland locations. Lee and Lindsay, that's what made yesterday so interesting. It's not that we got warm somewhere in Maine. It's that we got to 90 degrees right along the coast in Maine in May. That's a hard thing to do, and something we won't do at least for the next 7 to 10 days.
All right, Keith, thank you very much, sir. Our Feed Maine Telethon is getting into its final hours. We need you to call now to make a donation to help feed our friends, our neighbors, their children, our own children here in our state.
And Samantha York is manning the phone bank in Bangor, where a lot of great people have been calling in, Sam.
Hey guys, yeah, and actually the phones are just starting to pick up again, so please continue calling in, continue making your donations. Every dollar counts. Thank you to everybody who's already called in. These wonderful volunteers are here with me, taking your calls to take your donations. They're doing a great job so far. You can make your phone call here in Bangor, you can make them in Portland. Last check, I think we're almost to $30,000 that we've raised so far today, which is pretty incredible. And just so you guys know too, every dollar goes, oh, hold on, over 40,000 updates, sorry, over $40,000 raised at this point. So every dollar that you donate, it will provide 4 meals. And our goal is to raise enough to provide 1 million meals. And I think we have a challenge from some of these guys to get the money up there.
Yes, this is Charlie Porter from Maine Savings Federal Credit Union. I am calling out all of my coworkers with Maine Savings to give us a call while we are volunteering tonight. Let's raise some money.
All right, perfect. Heard that. Every Maine Savings employee, you've been called on by Charlie. Go on, give a call. Come on. Charlie says, oh, and by the way, Mom, because I know you're watching, Dad already called to donate, so time's a ticking. Diane, let's get the phone ringing here. So hopefully, if you haven't donated yet, you'll give us a call. We're open until 7:30. Leah Lindsay, back to you.
Yeah, let's go, Mama Samantha, because my mom has already called to donate as well. So, moms, let's get going.
Moms unite. Sam, thanks so much. Well, a very generous person made a very generous donation and got a piece of News Center Maine memorabilia in return. If you're a fan of our magazine show 207, you'll remember that neon sign that was the central part of the now retired set. After weeks of bidding, the 207 sign is now sold for $3,750. All of that money goes into the Feed Maine Fund, and News Center Maine is going to match it for a total of $7,500. The lucky winner announced tonight on 207 at 7.
But first, News Center at 5:30 is coming up next. Cindy Williams has a preview of that. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, Lee and Lindsay. Of course, we will be keeping up with our Feed Maine food drive in the next half hour. Also ahead, friends and family aren't giving up on a woman who hasn't been seen in about a year. We're going to tell you why police have not ruled out foul play in her disappearance. Plus, Governor LePage isn't happy with legislative leaders. Instead of finding a way to extend the session, lawmakers went home with a lot of unfinished business still on the table. That's all coming up at 5:30. News Center Now. We'll be back in a moment.
For the last half hour, you've been calling and donating to the Feed Maine Fund, and right now we are over $40,000 for the Good Shepherd Food Bank.
And it doesn't stop here. We are going to keep going. Keep those phones ringing, please. We will open for a little while longer. News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now.